Bears and the Buccaneers, and it comes your way next on Madden NFL 23.
And we're about 5 miles northwest of downtown Tampa at beautiful Raymond James Stadium near Florida's Gulf Coast. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Chicago Bears and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And a welcome in, everybody, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, so much gets made about offensive comparisons. Here's a matchup where the defenses may just take center stage.
Yeah, we're usually talking about guys scoring touchdowns. How about the guys who prevent them and change the momentum of the game when they take the ball away? I love those ball hawks in the secondary. People after my own heart.
Charles and I have been looking forward to this one all week. And off we go from Tampa. Pulls it in at the 13. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. First try on offense for the Bucs and their veteran quarterback, Tom Brady.
Well, we've all seen what Tom Brady can do on a football field for a couple of decades now. But how about his most impressive accomplishment? Moving to a different franchise and taking them to a Super Bowl title as well. Not many players can continually stiff-arm Father Time the way that he has.
To the air right away is Brady. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Dominique Robinson, the one who got in there to drop him. A lot of talk the other day about them wanting to quiet this home crowd early and often. Very first play of the game, they do just that.
You're exactly right about that, because that's often a conversation when you go on the road and you travel. Hey, let's take the crowd out of it. What a great way of doing so by putting the quarterback on the deck.
A situation they'll certainly want to avoid going forward. An early second and long they're facing. A first carry for Rachaad White. Give him 8, maybe 9, but they're still left with a third and long upcoming. Going to need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. Here's White. They set up the screen. And he'll lose yardage here. Back to the 15. It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it'll be fourth down.
The whole idea of the screen pass is to fool the defense in a big way and create a big play.
They weren't fooled.
Not 1 second, not one bit. How about them figuring it out, diagnosing it, and spilling it for lost yardage?
Fourth down, so Jake Camarda is out there. Here's Jones on the return. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And it'll be a short field for the Bears as they take over first and 10. First down, here's the run with Montgomery. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Touchdown, Chicago. Both sides of the football in sync early. You force the 3 and out, and then you take it down, score points.
You know what that tells me? They sold their game plan really well. Head coach said, listen, we're just going to stop them on 3 and out. We're going to take the ball downfield and score. But he also told them how it was going to happen. They're going to run this. We're going to stuff it. Then we're going to take the ball. They won't be able to keep up with us. And they got it done.
Cairo Santos on to try the extra point. And he's got it to make it 7-0 in favor of the Bears. So they hit pay dirt on just one play. The long run, the scamper, and a very nice scamper into the end zone for the touchdown. The Bears send the kicking team out there, and they will send this one away. Taken from about the 12. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Tampa Bay, they're getting ready to set up shop here for their second drive. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Yeah, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now Brady. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Throwing is Brady on 3rd down. And that is incomplete.
2 drives won't tell the story of this game, but you absolutely have to like how this defense has played thus far. They have yet to allow this offense to get untracked in this one.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. On the return is Jones. So a change of possession here on the punt, and the Bears take over.
At their own 42-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you've said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. They find some open field here. And down inside the 15 he goes.
91 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start.
One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, not get loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
Going up the gut, Montgomery. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. David Montgomery with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter.
And the Bears have taken a 13-0 first-quarter lead. So 2 drives, 2 touchdowns here in this first quarter, and he's got both of them.
Well, he's certainly setting himself up for a big game here, and I think if the play caller doesn't get in his own way, they should keep riding him the entire way of this game. Until the defense proves they can stop him, that's what I would call.
Santos able to tack on the extra point, and it's now 14-0. So that drive, 4 plays. And it was David Montgomery's touchdown run that polished it all off. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
taken from about the 12. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Brady now to throw. Airing this one out for Evans. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. Brady's incompletion on first down leads to a 2nd and 10.
Fakes the give to Fournette. Now Brady.
He completes this to Russell Gage. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. 23 yards the pickup there. First down, here's White. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Second quarter now in Tampa Bay. It's the Buccaneers in control of the football. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Fournette. He'll get about 4 here. Down at the 43-yard line. So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And this is not going to be enough. Was in search of 2 yards and only got halfway there.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
Here's Jake Camarda now.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away.
The Bears offense ready to get going again. It has been about as perfect of a start to this game as these guys could have asked for, Charles. They've scored on their first 2 drives. They still haven't given anything up on the other side of the ball, so they can already make this a 3-score game here if they can come away with points on this drive.
Yeah, they're almost pushing them to the brink, aren't they, partner? Almost to the point now where it's a loss of words for me, which I know would excite all of our viewers, but you're just not supposed to see that type of dominance so quickly in a game like this. Everything they've done has been working so far. Offense, defense, you name it, it's going well for them.
And this will be a Bears first down as the tackle made at the 35-yard line.
And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. Touchdown, Chicago.
I know I should keep the focus and the spotlight on the hero that just scored, but tackling's been an issue for this defense all game long. I can't set that aside. We just saw it again here. Missed tackles leads to his long touchdown run.
Now the point after try for Santos. And it is now 21-0. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it was David Montgomery's touchdown run that polished it all off. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
From the 10. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. A time to get another look at this Buccaneer offense. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
To throw, it's Brady. Eluding the pressure right. And that will be incomplete.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
Here's Jones. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. A great return there of 22 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over.
Come on, baby, get low. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
The Bears in good field position to start out 1st and 10 at their own 37. Out to his left. A solid stiff arm. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago.
Boy, I got to say, I don't know how he made it all the way to the end zone without going down. What a run.
Absolutely incredible that was because defensively you're taught to break down, wrap up. But in this case, he didn't really allow it. And really, no one was able to slow him down enough for the extra help to get there. He just kept getting out of tackles all the way downfield and found the end zone.
Santos now to add the PAT. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. Well, I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. 1 play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. The Bears send the kicking team out there, and they will send this one away.
From the 10. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over.
See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He'd love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will be alongside. He'll have highlights and analysis from Orlando of this first half of action. From the gun on 3rd down, Brady. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Jake Camarda sent on now to punt this away.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Jones on the return. So possession goes over here on the punt.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
At their own 41-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
Everything right now that they touch on this side of the football, it seems to turn to gold. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. That lead continues to grow. And, I mean, if they can get points here, Charles, it might almost be an insurmountable comeback for the other side.
I think you make a great case for that, so I'm going to flip it over to the other side. Could they make the big comeback? Certainly. Am I expecting it? Not at all. I think if we don't see a drastic change in how they're playing, This blowout's going to get bigger and bigger before the final gun.
They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Now the Bears will use their third and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward.
And he's able to work his way down inside the red zone to the 19-yard line. 238 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
They'll try the middle with Montgomery. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business.
And he will fight his way in. Not giving up there, and he's got a Bears touchdown.
David Montgomery
on his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns.
And the Bears are able to widen their lead here in this first half.
Now the point after try for Santos. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So this drive spans 7 plays. And it was David Montgomery's touchdown run that polished it all off. The Bears send the kicking team out there, and they will send this one away.
From the 10. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. One more drive here for the Buccaneer offense in this first half.
And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
So we reach halftime with the visiting Bears out on top here. As we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, BG, thanks very much, and welcome one and all to our beautiful new downtown Orlando studios for this EA Sports Halftime Report. First order of business, though. Let's get a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for Chicago. And they have utterly been unstoppable in the running game. Their numbers off the chart for one half of football. Simply incredible. Meanwhile, for the Bucs, the rushing numbers tell a different story. They really couldn't get a whole lot going on the ground. And the evidence? The numbers. Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks. Yeah, that's something to consider. Are we in for more one-way traffic here in the second half? It has not been a competitive game to this point.
So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter.
Well, they're obviously right now in the driver's seat, comfortably ahead. They've scored on a couple straight possessions, Charles. And, I mean, for them, I guess it's just more of the same, right? Keep doing what you've been doing.
Yeah, it's not typical for us to see games out of reach in the third quarter. Right now, they're unstoppable in this one.
There he goes left side. He's at the 30. 10. Touchdown, Chicago.
David Montgomery,
79 yards.
And the Bears come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter.
Well, I'm just not sure what more we can say about him after that one.
But we're certainly going to give it a try, aren't we? Because I believe we're watching greatness personified. It has not mattered all game long where they've handed him the football. He's taken it and found the end zone. He is so locked into that so-called zone, I don't think they're going to get him out of it in this one.
Santos now to add the PAT. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So they hit pay dirt on just one play. The long run, the scamper, and a very nice scamper into the end zone for the touchdown. The Bears send the kicking team out there, and they will send this one away.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. Brady and the Bucs now with a 1st and 10
at their own 16. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And now a fumble. Brady loses the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. He tried to buy some time to the right. So, Charles, when a guy gets out of the pocket, what's the focus of the quarterback?
Most of them keep their eyes downfield. They want to try and make a play throwing the ball. Some of them, they want to tuck it and go. But when they scramble, in this case, as you said, to the right, you're cutting the field in half. So good defenses kind of converge in that spot, and they don't give you much territory to throw the ball. He had nowhere to go with it. Ends up getting the ball stripped.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Up the middle, it's Montgomery. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
A couple extra tight ends in the formation here as they line up.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears.
David Montgomery.
A 3-yard touchdown run.
And the Bears take the forced fumble and convert it into 6 points. And they would not be denied on the ground, powering it in just one play after they got stopped short.
And how about how many tight ends are on the field? Because in today's NFL, we think of the tight end more as a pass catcher. But this group, they tell them you've got to be able to run block to stay on this team. And they committed to it and got it done right there.
Santos with the extra point, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it was David Montgomery's touchdown run that polished it all off. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Taken from about the 12. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now.
Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
And Brady's throw there incomplete.
I'm getting the sense that this offense is getting frustrated. Here we are into the third quarter, and they've had plenty of opportunities to get in sync. Thus far, that hasn't happened. They're looking for answers both on the sidelines and in the huddle looking at each other.
And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
Finding Evans here, going across the middle of the field. And he is going to have the Buccaneers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Now Brady.
And this one caught downfield by Evans.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10. Into the red zone, it's Brady.
Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. And the Bears are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line. A disappointing end to that drive, making it to the red zone, but they'll again, CD, wind up with nothing.
And nothing, that's been the key word because they've had drives throughout that have finished off with nothing.
drive to save their lives in this game. And this one lines up again, giving them, dare I say it, nothing.
Here's a run on first down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard. 2nd and 11. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. And what in the world? Not sure if he just heard a whistle there or what, but for some reason he spiked the football. The Bucs with an extra defender now in the secondary here on 3rd down. To throw is Fields. And this is taken in by Darnell Mooney. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. Give him 22 there on the 3rd down conversion.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
A bit of an opening there on the first down run as they get this forward for about 6 yards.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Back to Montgomery on 2nd down. And some room to maneuver. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. David Montgomery, 56 yards. And the Bears are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter. Now the point after try for Santos. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. And they won't be able to run another play. Time has expired on this 3rd quarter. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Tampa, where the 4th quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the 3rd quarter. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. From the 10. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now.
Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the 4th quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mention in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while, but everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
The throw on 2nd down by Brady is incomplete. Brady to throw on 3rd and 1. And he's going to have the hook up to Gage. And he is going to have a Bucs first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1.
First and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Brady now on first down. Left side here, that's complete to Godwin.
And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now. But as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball game.
Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same way, because if not...
Oh, he can't get away, and Brady will go down.
Dominique Robinson picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Now Brady. Flush to his right.
And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
Partner was a definite passing down, but he was able to leak out and pick up some good yardage, even though the coverage was excellent. Maybe it's not exactly how they drew it up, but he still got a big chunk of yardage on 2nd down.
Looking downfield for Godwin. And it's intercepted.
Picked off by Jalen Johnson. And the Bears are going to take over at their own 11-yard line.
So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. They'll go to Montgomery to try to wind some clock. Oh, he's got some breathing room. He's at the 50, 30, 10. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were kicking it in 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL, you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. When you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
Santos now to add the PAT. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. The Bears send the kicking team out there, and they will send this one away.
From the 10. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
And the Buccaneers getting ready to go as they take the field.
At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the 4th quarter, facing the big deficit. What silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like one possession left and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run, have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
Right where this set it down started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. This will be fielded at the 17. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds.
The danger of a punt that good, a 16-yard return. And they will take over 1st and 10.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. That one looks like he'll throw here. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that's caught inside the 30.
And he'll be marked out at about the 26-yard line.
Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Handoff comes to Montgomery. There's a nice move, and they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. Now another timeout called for by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter play. They'll run with Montgomery, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
What a game it's been for him in the backfield, Charles, as he pounds it into the end zone yet again.
Yeah, and he hits the end zone one more time, and his blockers cleared all those lanes. Before the snap, they called for the heavy unit, right? 3 tight ends coming on the field, and they got the job done clearing the way.
Now the point after try for Santos. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it was David Montgomery's touchdown run that polished it all off. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. The Tampa Bay offense set to go again. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points. You feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
That throw by Brady incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And this is picked up by the Bears. Shreds him with a stiff arm. And they will finally get him down as he's all the way to the 36-yard line.
As they say, this game hasn't exactly been one for the books. I mean, we're into the fourth quarter here, and now this happens, another turnover. Not one that they're going to hold up and say, yeah, this has been a banner day.
Absolutely. Still sitting on 0. The Chicago offense set to get started. And they've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the fourth quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives.
Certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you noted, so they can continue to play loose, break out some other concepts, maybe run a few trick plays, get other people involved. Heck, even go deep on one of these first snaps just because they can.
Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more. Little insult to injury here late in the game. From the left hash, this will be a 41-yarder. Santos' kick is up and through, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
From the 10. And able to get this out to the 25. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. It's been a tough go for them. It's still without any points here in the fourth quarter. And a big deficit, Charles. But they moved the football on some drives. They just haven't had any points.
Yeah, and I know in their minds they're thinking the game plan has actually been working. We just haven't scored points. Well, isn't that the bottom line, partner? To put points on the board. So if you're moving it and you're not scoring, is it really working? Right now, they've got nothing left to lose. They might as well go for broke.
So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory.